of the general Ariovistus, available for Suebi for those of you who have bought the Caesar in Gaul DLC. Now, his ability comes in two phases. Fast charge is the first one. The first phase increases the speed of the units. The second phase increases the speed, and charge bonus. Now, the charge bonus is increased by 20, and charge bonus is applied both to melee attack and to weapon damage. So on the charge, with fast charge, these Suebi swordmasters are going to do 92 weapon damage and have 95 melee attack versus 72 without the ability and weapon damage, and 75 weapon damage, melee attack without the ability. Now they are up against Oathsworn, and they are slightly better. They have a melee attack of 48 and a charge bonus of 35, which means they will have 83 melee attack on the charge, and they will do 80 weapon damage on the charge. So in most cases, Oathsworn will beat swordmasters in a one-on-one fight. This fast charge ability will activate in a circle around your general, so you will see that Suebi players who use this ability often will keep their most powerful units concentrated around their general to make sure that all of them benefit from fast charge. Now, the thing with fast charge is you won't see any stat increases in the first phase, and the first phase lasts for 20 seconds, so you need to have your timing right with this. So for 20 seconds you won't see any stat changes, but when the second phase of the first phase kicks in, of the first ability, there you go, charge bonus of 52. So charging into these guys, and as you can see, the swordmasters won very comfortably on the charge. Now the swordmasters got 28 kills on the charge, and the Oathsworn got 16. Now this is something you very rarely see, or almost never, unless the terrain is heavily in the favor of the swordmasters. Now, the Oathsworn activated Headhunt, so I'm going to activate Headhunt as well, so we'll fatigue at the same time. Now, there is a second ability here called Pride, and if I activate Pride, it's going to increase... I'm going to have to start the game again. Now, Pride is going to increase weapon damage up to 52 and give them armor piercing damage of 16. It's also going to increase their melee attack. It appears that it increased their melee attack by 5 as well. And what this will do is that since they have the charge bonus for 30 seconds, now they will do not they won't do 92 weapon damage. They will have a pretty substantial weapon damage of 104. The same goes for their melee attack. Their melee attack will also increase by the amount they got on the charge, which is a bonus of 32 plus 20 from the ability. So both their melee attack and weapon damage shoots up to over 100, and that is going to allow them to, well, of course the remaining points there on them from the melee attack were because of Headhunt, which gradually increases their melee attack, but it's also going to tire them out. So you can see here, swordmasters have a massive lead on these Oathsworn now. Before their fatigue starts to kick in from using the Headhunt, the swordmasters have 63 kills, while the Oathsworn have 43, so they have a lead of 20 kills. Now, this will just start getting worse and worse for the Oathsworn. They're able to catch slightly up, but this 20-man lead is not going to be very easy to catch up to for the Oathsworn. But timing is a pretty crucial factor here, because if you charge when you don't have the charge bonus, it's not going to help you, and you need to be in combat to use Pride. But if you manage to charge while having the charge bonus, and if you manage to activate Pride in combat, you're going to make your units extremely good. And here we go, the swordmasters are absolutely beating on these Oathsworn. And this can be a nasty surprise for an opponent that doesn't expect it, because your low-level units will also get these increases of 20, so the already good charging units of Suebi will become absolute monsters. Berserkers with these stats increases are just insane, and the same goes for the Wolf Warriors and the Bloodsworn. They are become extremely deadly units, able to kill off enemy units very quickly indeed. So, the Oathsworn are wavering, and that's the battle. So, in this battle, the swordmasters killed 137 Oathsworn and won. So the Oathsworn killed 150 swordmasters. Now, we'll try this, but without any abilities. If the AI activates Headhunt, I'm going to activate Headhunt as well, so we're equal in those terms. But now the swordmasters are up against a unit that is slightly better. And we'll see how they do. I'm going to charge straight in because the AI is going to run towards me, and that's going to tire them out a bit. So things are once again equal. We'll try to meet in the center over there. Fast forward. I will just take note of what happens on the charge. The swordmasters secured a 20 kill lead on the charge last time, which allowed them to overcome these Oathsworn. Now, bam, charge, and we'll see how it goes here. Activate Headhunt. So, Swordmaster 7 kills, Oathsworn 11. Let's see how things progress. 9, 10, 11, 16, 15, 22, 5, 18. So here you can see the Oathsworn are starting to kill more swordmasters than the swordmasters are killing Oathsworn, and it's a similar scenario to what we saw in the last fight, where the swordmasters were able to secure this lead. So by using these abilities, you are basically making swordmasters slightly better than Oathsworn. Stats wise they are becoming much better, but those stats translate to a difference in kills of about 20, I find. In most of the tests I do, the difference is about 10 to 20 kills, depending on a few random factors. So here the swordmasters are losing. Now the difference is staying around 20, which it is most of the time. And when Headhunt becomes available, we'll activate it again if the Oathsworn activate it, but it looks like we won't have time because the swordmasters broke. Now, the swordmasters now kill 66 men, and the Oathsworn kill 102, so about the same result for the Oathsworn, but the swordmasters were twice as effective in the previous test. And this has been consistent across the board on my other tests. This was just to give an example of what happens. So the abilities of Ariovistus, the fast charge and the pride, are extremely powerful abilities, and if you come up against a Suebi army that has pride and fast charge, the best thing you can do is to try to stay out of melee until the bonuses die down. Now with pride it's very difficult, because usually your opponent will charge in and then activate pride, and then you're up against swordmasters with 16 armor piercing, and they have 4 armor piercing, so it quadruples their armor piercing capabilities, which is pretty crazy. And the increased speed will make it more difficult to avoid, say, cavalry units, and the cavalry units will get massive charge bonuses as well. So I'm not sure that I like this ability because it's a DLC ability, and because it gives people who have bought the it's basically kind of a pay-to-win ability, because it takes Suebi units that are inferior, and for a short period of time it makes them superior to just about anything they'll face. So, not too happy about that. The Suebi, it can be argued that the Suebi need to be better on the charge, but I would much rather see, or be less fragile, like have slightly more armor across the board, just a little bit. But still, seeing units that cost almost 100 denarii less become better than their counterparts just because you bought the DLC, and having that increase your chance dramatically to smash through an in battle, not too happy about it. Now other generals have other abilities that we'll take a look at in other videos, but if you want to try Suebi with these abilities, just remember that the first phase lasts for 20 seconds, and during that time you have to get as many of the guys who have the ability on them into combat as quickly as possible. When you're into combat, activate Pride and you will kill just about everything with those units. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the battlefield.